What do Quentin Tarantino and Aaron Sorkin get right about revisionism, which our writers and directors simply just don't understand? I'm Sudhish Kamath and this is FOMO Fix, your weekly film companion, Bollywood reporter and TV guide rolled into one to help you figure out what to binge and what is cringe. We've got the jingoistic Kesari 2 in our crosshairs this week. On TV Gold, I'll be talking about Ramy Youssef's timely #1 Happy Family USA. On Heads Up, I've got the verdict on Crazxy, or however that's pronounced, Superboys of Malegaon and the Stalker series U. So let's go already. Right off, go yourself, get the out of my country, off from here. Right-wing troll tweets are now movie quotes. Unlike this episode, the F-bombs have not been beeped out in this adult film. Yes, that's the complete collection of Akshay Kumar's punchlines or winning arguments in Kesari 2 that takes a nugget of history and revises it into full-throated jingoistic mythology. The film is running steady in its second week, collecting over 70 crores despite criticism for historical distortion and charges of plagiarizing a poem by Yahya Bhootwala. Now, this courtroom drama is neither The Trial of Chicago 7 or A Few Good Men. Those are classics that made the war of ideas compelling with well-crafted arguments and nuance. Not just the one-sided F-bombs like Kesari throws around like confetti, but genuinely differing opinions within the diverse Chicago 7, all without rewriting events to fit an agenda. Tarantino rewrote history too by killing off Hitler in Inglourious Basterds and saving Sharon Tate in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But if you're presenting an alternate timeline of a real event, the least you can do is not market it as the untold story of Jallianwala Bagh. The facts. Shankaran Nair did write about the massacre, blaming Governor Michael O'Dwyer for the violence, not General Dyer, in his book Gandhi and Anarchy 3 years after the massacre. Nair was sued for defamation, a case in reality that was fought in London through a lawyer, but why let facts get in the way of a good story? Now, it's not just dishonest, it's 100% pretentious to end the film with the names of victims followed by an asterisk. An asterisk that says, names are from public domain. Or another way of saying, no attempts were made to verify the names or ages of victims, but hey, Aaron Sorkin did this too at the end of Trial of Chicago 7, right? So vibes and representation. Akshay Kumar plays Shankaran Nair. The man is suddenly an expert in all things K. Kerala, Kathakali, Kalaripaitu, when he can barely say the word Kerala himself. Meanwhile, R. Madhavan is in the film and fantastic, which makes you wonder, why isn't he Shankaran Nair? Why not, at the very least, stay true to the book it's based on, the case that shook the empire? Or does historical accuracy not stir up the nationalism quota enough to incite or to provoke? The only history lesson from Kesari 2 is this: Bollywood does not care about representation, sensitivity, or even basic screenwriting, even if the story is about one of the most haunting tragedies in Indian history. Or as a Sorkin character once famously said, you can't handle the truth. In the wake of the Pahalgam tragedy and the wave of hate Muslims around the country have endured in the last few days, the show to watch is Ramy Youssef's new animated series. Recommended by my friend Raja Sen, #1 Happy Family USA on Prime Video, follows the aftermath of 9/11 and the cultural consequences faced by the Hussain family, now under the scanner for their Arab identity. Ramy Youssef resorts to revisionism too, to explore the absurd but poignant fallout from nosy neighbors to shady FBI agents all the way to the American president. Yes, George W. Bush shows up for a sleepover. The lead, a high schooler named Ramy, ends up joining a punk rock band where he's told, "We need satanic verses, Rushdie, not Rumi." That line alone deserves a standing ovation. If you like Ramy or more, dive into this show. If you haven't watched either, what are you waiting for? Add them to your watch list immediately. You know how sometimes a title tries too hard and turns you off from watching the film? Crazxy, yes, crazy with an X, is one of those, but surprise, it's actually good. Soham Shah stars in this real-time caper about a bag of money, two parties waiting for it, and twin escalating stakes. Now he can either save his own life and career with the settlement money or use it as ransom to rescue his neglected, kidnapped daughter with Down syndrome. What would you do? The thriller keeps its foot on the pedal all the way, only letting up for one longish sequence involving a surgery and a tire change with the clock ticking. Yes, a tire change, and it works. But by the time the destination arrives, you've had so much fun with the ride that you're willing to forgive how expected the ending is. If only the film was simply called Crazxy, a lot more people would have seen it. It's not too late, you can still check it out. Zoya Akhtar's Superboys of Malegaon, also on Prime Video, is a fictional adaptation of Supermen of Malegaon, the beloved documentary by Faiza Ahmed Khan. Classic case of appropriation. Not only does it fail to credit the original as a based on or adapted from, it just gives a shout out like they're tagging it in a meme. To be fair, the film written by Varun Grover is entertaining and lovingly captures the passion of Malegaon's mumblecore parody makers. But the documentary already did that, and more, with authenticity. Let's not forget, the appropriation is at two levels here. One, a privileged Nepo kid from the Javed Akhtar family tree, Sholay lineage and all, with every OTT door open, chooses to author the film herself rather than empower someone from Malegaon to direct it. Two, it not only mines the marginalized low-income community of Malegaon, but also sidelines the efforts of a documentary filmmaker, one of the most undervalued voices in the film industry hierarchy. So is there a way to celebrate without appropriating? Yes. When Netflix acquired the rights to Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 100 Years of Solitude, his sons insisted that the show be in Spanish, is shot in Colombia, using local talent, creating livelihoods, and staying authentic. That's how you pay tribute, not just by representing, but by platforming the culture and the people who have lived that story. If you want to celebrate the filmmakers of Malegaon, I suggest you check out Faiza Ahmed Khan's documentary, Supermen of Malegaon, that's on YouTube, before you watch Zoya Akhtar's adaptation. And finally, You, the Netflix Stalker series, has ended after 5 seasons. This is not a reco, this is your cue to skip. While the show had its guilty pleasure highs, the final season offers little that's new. The thrills are limp, the ending is predictable, and frankly too tame for the level of psycho we've been watching get away with murder for 5 years. Landing a show is an art form and You crash lands into cliches. So skip the FOMO, embrace the JOMO, the joy of missing out. Life's too good to waste on a jewel thief unless we're talking about the Vijay Anand classic. But feel free to roast or raise a toast to jewel thief in the comment section. Until next week, this is Sudhish Kamath bringing you your weekly dose of FOMO Fix from my home studio for The Hindu. Goodbye.